This time it rains on Mr. and Mrs. Tier's house on Rain-a-Lot Street. After it rains, raindrops fall off the roof of Mr. and Mrs. Tier's house. But before I can tell you this story, I have to tell you about Mr. Drippy's adventure. I'm Mr. Drippy, and I have had wonderful adventures a long time ago. I saw dinosaurs, and during the Ice Age I froze into ice. Indians use my friends for their drink. Scientists call me H2O. It all started on a sunny day. The kids at Mr. and Mrs. Tier's house were feeling sad as usual because it hardly ever rains at their house. The reason for this is because when it rains, you and your family get good luck on Rain-a-Lot Street. Right now, Mr. Drippy is invisible, and he's getting prepared for his adventure. Right now, he's in evaporation. When Mr. and Mrs. Tier went to see where their children were, they saw them by the window, looking at big, puffy gray clouds. In amusement, the boy said, "It's our chance to finally get rain for the first time!" They were happy. "I know it's gonna happen this time," the girls shrieked. Do you know how Mr. Drippy's doing? He's in that exact big puffy cloud that they saw a couple of seconds ago. He is forming into a water droplet, and this is called condensation. When Mr. Drippy fell on the roof of Mr. and Mrs. Tier's house, their children saw droplets of water dropping off of the roof of the house right outside of the window. Precipitation is happening. There was a ditch in Mr. and Mrs. Tier's yard. When they went outside to check the front yard after it had rained, they saw that the ditch was filled with rainwater. Mr. Drippy's adventure ended him up in that same exact ditch in Mr. and Mrs. Tier's yard. Mr. Drippy is in accumulation right now. Will he stay in the ditch filled with rainwater, or will he go back into evaporation? Mr. Drippy is evaporating again! When I asked Mr. Drippy how his adventure was, he said it was great and that he will see you guys soon. He hopes that you had fun learning about his adventure, the water cycle. Mr. and Mrs. Tier, including their children, want to thank you for watching them on my slideshow. Speaking of thank you, here are the credits.